So I've had a few people ask me what I carry on a day-to-day basis, so I figured I'd just make a quick video of it and show you what I've got in my bag. Now there's one thing in here that maybe you've never heard about from another photographer. I certainly haven't come across it on YouTube, but there's a little nugget of wisdom I want to share with you at the end of the video, so stay tuned to see what that is. But let's just go through my bag and see what I've got in here. So first of all, I just have this small messenger bag. It's not even a camera bag, it's just a simple messenger bag. I found that this is a great size for me to keep exactly what I need, nothing more, nothing less. So let's just go through it real quick and see what I've got in there. So first off, it's my camera, of course. I'm shooting in Fujifilm X-T2. This camera has been through everything with me. If you look at it, you can see it's pretty dinged up, banged up, still holding up great. I just fell in love with this camera and have not seen a reason to upgrade, so I'm sticking with it for as long as it will work. If the X-T5 comes out this year, maybe we'll see what happens, but for me, this is just, it does everything I need it to do. I'm shooting with a 18mm f2. I always stick with one focal length. Unless I'm visiting, you know, like New York or Chicago or somebody with some huge buildings, I may stick a 16mm in here along with my 18, just to get a little bit of wider perspective. But when I'm out shooting day to day, it's one camera, one focal length. That way I can focus on the shooting. I'm not worried about zooming in, zooming out with some sort of zoom lens. It's a fixed focal length. I know this lens very well because I shoot with it 90% of the time. Sometimes I'll use my 27mm, but this is my go-to lens. So I can shoot from the hip easily because I know exactly what's in the frame without having to look because I'm so familiar with this lens. So one main lens, my camera body, and then I've got, usually I carry one portrait lens with me because I do street portraits from time to time. I don't post a lot of them, but I do take a lot of them. So anytime someone asks me, I'll definitely take a shot and a couple of portraits and either email it to them or print it out to them and mail it to them, or we'll get into this a little bit, but I used to use an Instax printer to print it out on the spot and give it to them. But anyway, portrait lens, this is a 50mm 1.4. It's an old Pentax Takumar lens that I've converted for my Fuji to use, and it's a great little manual lens that takes excellent portraits. It's got some great bokeh, I don't know how you say it, blurred background, how about that? But anyway, love this little lens, it's great, keep it in my bag. That's for portraits. So the new addition to my camera bag is this little Instax Evo. This is something I purchased because I used to have the Instax printer that I would take a picture on my Fuji, transfer it over to my phone, and then print from that to give it to someone, say like a homeless person who I can't mail or email, and I want to give them a print. So I found this online and I actually love this little camera. It actually looks like a street camera. It's pretty small in profile. So it fits in my camera bag nicely, and I can take pictures directly from here, and all I do is pull this little lever and it gives me a print. So pretty nice little addition to the bag. I use this for, you know, those random portraits. If I want to take something with the Pentax lens, my portrait lens, and then print it, I still have that option because this doubles as a printer. So it's a little bit smaller than the old Fujifilm Instax printer, but it gives me the same capabilities. So this is something I just recently added to my bag that I've actually enjoyed, just because it gives me instant prints when I need them. Now the one thing I do want to show you that is hopefully a nugget of wisdom for you that I've never come across this on YouTube. But one thing I highly recommend keeping in your camera bag is a print of your work. This is a book that I made 2 years ago. It was like 3 weeks of work. I threw it into a quick little zine and printed out a few copies. But this is something that I carry with me, and I started doing this last year. But what it enables me to do is when somebody gets upset or they're like, why are you taking me I mean, you get that question a lot. Why are you taking my picture? And sometimes you fumble around, you're like, oh, I take pictures, I do street photography. Like, some people may not know what street photography is. So then you have to explain it, or you bring up your Instagram and show it, but that could be anybody's account, right? You're just showing something digital. So I found this invaluable to carry this with me in my bag. So what I do is someone will like, hey, why are you taking my picture? You know, they get that kind of upset look on their face. Well, I whip this out and And I say, well, I'm a street photographer. I document life on the streets, candid moments, and this is what I do with it. I create artistic shots using light and shadow and telling story through my pictures. And I hand this to them, like physically into their hands, and they get to flip through it and see the work, right? And there's something about seeing physical prints of the work that changes somebody's attitude almost instantaneously. I had an instance about 3 months ago where I took a picture of this lady. I was warming up, just taking some random shots. And anyway, I took a picture and she's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm a street photographer. I take candid moments of life." And she's like, "Why? Like, what are you gonna do with that picture you took of me?" And so I pulled this out and I said, "Look, here's what I do with it." And I handed it to her. She started flipping through it. And she immediately was like, "Wow, this is amazing. I love this. I love this." And at the end of it, she said, "Will you take my picture? Will you take another picture of me?" And so I took a few portraits and got her email address and emailed them to her. And she emailed me back. She's like, "I showed your work to my husband. He loves it. I love the portraits. We're following you on Instagram now." So I turned what was a skeptic, irritated person on the street into a fan of my work. So I can't recommend this enough. It doesn't have to be a high quality print like this, all slick and professionally done. It could just be you printing these at home and stapling them into a book, or running it up to your local copy shop and making copies and doing it. But something just physical that you can hand to somebody and they can see it. And that has been, like I said, a game changer in those times where people just don't understand what you're doing or get irritated that you're taking their picture in public. And it's alleviated a stressful situation into a beneficial situation. So whatever you do, I hope that is something you will take away from this video. Go print out your work, stick it in your bag, keep it with you at all times, and hopefully that will help you in those kind of stressful situations. So that's my nugget of wisdom for you. I hope you can take it and use it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.